Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We're back today with another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet solo run. This time we're using Rayquazza as requested by Lizzie. And our Rayquazza has the Airlock ability which negates weather when it enters the battle. As we start the game off, we can talk about Rayquazza's base stat total, and it's got 680 with 150 in both its attack and special attack, 95 in speed, 105 in HP, and 90 in both defenses, giving us a very strong Pokemon for this run. Being able to switch between special and physical will be very helpful later on. When we look at the moves that Rayquaza can learn, we've got some really good ones early on: Dragon Ascent, Air Slash, Dragon Pulse, and we've got some really good TMs, things like Flamethrower, Surf, Thunderbolt, Earth Power, Iron Head. A lot of very useful moves for this run. At the start of the game, we just pick Quaxly for a starter. No reason. None of them are going to be able to deal a lot to Rayquaza with their primary typings. And we head on down to the first battle against Nemona, where we just beat the Fuecoco by using a couple of water moves. Once we've won this battle, we can move our Rayquaza over into the game and let the challenge actually begin. As we meet Nemona outside the gates of Messagosa for our second fight against her, the one where she shows us the gimmick for the generation being terrestrialization. You can see that our Rayquaza is at level 20, that's because it comes from Pokemon Go, there's no other way for me to do it. And we've got Air Slash, which does great damage. We win the battle against Nemona after she terrestrializes, and head on through, finishing the tutorial off with a time of 57 minutes. After pushing a giant olive into a goal, completing the first gym challenge, we can take on our first gym leader, Katie. We're at level 20 with a time of 1 hour 5 minutes, and we're holding wise glasses for this fight. Katie is a bug type trainer. We have a dragon flying type. This was honestly a cakewalk. Air Slash takes out Nimble, then Katie sends in Tarantula, which also falls to an Air Slash. Katie's ace Pokemon is Teddiursa, and as always, the ace Pokemon terrestrializes into the typing of the gym, this case being Bug. So once Katie has finished terrestrializing, we hit an Air Slash into the Teddiursa, doing enough to take it out in a single hit, giving us our first gym badge of the run. Our next stop is Clorf, the Rock Titan Pokemon, and we're still at level 20 with a time of 1 hour 14 minutes and holding the wise glasses. Before this fight, I was a little bit concerned with the rock types being super effective against us, but we made it through without any issues. We start the fight off with an Air Slash, which critical hits, dropping Clorf just above half as we take a Rock Smash, lowering our defense but not doing a lot of damage, and Shoulder goes for a Leer. We go for another Air Slash, which will proc Clorf's Anger Shell ability, raising its attack, its special attack and its speed while lowering both its defenses. It also gets flinched by the Air Slash as Shoulder goes for a Water Gun, bringing it really low into the red. Because of the Anger Shell and our minus speed nature currently, we are outsped and hit with a Rock Tomb, which does drop us very, very low, but the Air Slash is enough to finish it off, giving us our first Titan and the ability to sprint outside of battles. Our next gym leader is Brassius, the grass type gym leader, and after collecting 10 Sunflora for the gym challenge, we are able to challenge Brassius. Brassius has 3 Pokemon, those being Petlil, which falls to a single Air Slash, a Smoliv, which also falls to a single Air Slash, before Brassius will send in their ace Pokemon. Brassius' ace Pokemon is Sudowoodo, and it terrestrializes to the grass type, becoming truly Woodo. After the terrestrialization, we're going to hit an Air Slash. We cannot take Sudowoodo out in a single hit due to the fact that it has the sturdy ability, meaning that it will always survive with 1 HP from full HP. Luckily for us, we don't get hit with a rock move as Sudowoodo is flinched. We did crit, but it honestly didn't matter. On the next turn, we're still faster, and a final Air Slash takes Sudowoodo out, giving us our second gym badge of the run so far. Our second Titan is the Flying Titan Bombardier, and we start this fight off by healing as we go straight from phase 1 into phase 2, and it does have a rock move, so it is capable of taking us out if it decides to. While we do that, it does hit the Knackley with a pluck before Knackley goes for rock polish. On the next turn, Ancient Power drops it just below half, as we get hit with a rock throw first, and Knackley once again goes for rock polish, unsurprisingly. On the final turn, Knackley goes for a rock polish again, meaning that it's at +6 speed as we take a wing attack, and Ancient Power finishes it off, giving us our second Titan victory, meaning that we can now use Koraidon to travel across water. Our third gym leader is Iono, and after finding Mr. Walksabout to help boost Iono's stream numbers, we are able to challenge her to a battle. We are at level 25 at this point, holding the wise glasses, and we have a time of 2 hours and 20 because we've been off hunting TMs before this fight. Iono leads the fight off with Water Troll, which goes down in a single turn. Bellibolt is next up, and that's taken down by a single Earth Power before Luxio comes in. It does hit us with the Intimidate, but at the minute we are using special moves, so it's not an issue, and Luxio falls to an Earth Power. This leaves Iono with only their ace Pokemon left, which is Miss Magius. It's going to terrestrialize to the Electric type now, meaning that thanks to its Levitate ability, it has no weaknesses, which I think is quite good for the game, but it could have been a little bit later on. It outspeeds us, hitting us with a Hex as we hit a Flamethrower, doing just over half. We go for another Flamethrower as we get hit by Confuse Ray. Luckily, we don't hit ourselves in confusion and take it out. I think we could have hit ourselves and it wouldn't have mattered too much, but with that we've now got 3 gym badges complete. Our next stop is Kofu for our 4th gym badge, and we're at level 26 with a time of 2 hours 28 minutes coming straight from Iono's gym. Before we could challenge Kofu, we had to return the wallet and then win an auction for them. And we picked up Thunderbolt along the way as we hit the loser with it at the start, dropping it low, not quite enough to take it out, but we are a little bit under level for this fight. Leveling up and learning extreme speed as we take the Veluza out, swapping it for ancient power, just in case we need it towards the end of the fight. Next up is Wall Trio. We hit it with a Thunderbolt as it hits us with a Headbutt, doing a little bit of damage but not enough, taking it out in a single hit. Kofu's only got 3 Pokemon. I think Kofu and Iono should have been swapped in order, but that's not relevant. And Kofu's ace is Crabominable, which is going to terrestrialize to be a water type to match the gym. Once Kofu has terrestrialized, we also terrestrialize as well. I wasn't sure if it had an ice move, and I'd rather only be weak to ice rather than double weak to ice with the fly-in. Kofu terrestrializes. We go for a Thunderbolt once all the animations are done. It does take a little while. And Crabominable does about half, missing a slam against us, as another Thunderbolt takes it out, giving us our 4th gym badge of the run so far. From Kofu, we head on over to our 3rd Titan now, and it's the Steel Titan, Orthworm. We picked up Flamethrower along our way earlier, and the first hit takes it very low. The first phase it was enough to take it out in a single hit. Drops it very low. Toedscool hits a Grass Knot, which takes it even lower, and then another Flamethrower is enough to finish it off with very little happening in between. It's a very quick, easy fight. No challenge at all. We're at level 28 with a time of 2 hours 40 minutes when we entered the fight. On to our first team Starbase, and after doing the Star Rush challenge to knock out 30 Pokemon that we have to do for each of the team Starbases, we are up against the Fire type leader of Team Star, Mela. Mela leads with a Torkoal, which sets up Drought, but Airlock cancels it out, so it doesn't matter. Earth Power takes it out in a single hit, leaving only the Fire type Starmobile, as each Starmobile matches the type of the base. We are outsped, hit with a Screech, which lowers our defense as we hit an Earth Power doing just under half, and their speed boost ability kicks in. Doesn't make too much of a difference to me because they were faster than us anyway. Like I said, we've still got a minus speed nature at this point. But I do hit the terrestrialization just in case it had anything that could hit Fly'em. Goes for a Wicked Talk into us, doing a little bit of damage, not too much, as another Earth Power brings it very close to defeat. Finally, we just go for an extreme speed, finish it off, giving us our first Team Starbase beaten. We're now at the halfway through collecting all of the badges from Team Star, Titans and Gyms, and we're up against the Dark type Team Starbase with Giacomo for the leader. They lead off with a Pawniard, which is weak to Earth Power and just fall to a single one, before they send in their Dark type Starmobile. We don't have anything super effective against Dark. We can learn Brick Break, but I haven't picked it up at this point. It does hit us with an Intimidate, and we hit it with we're trying to decide, Flamethrower in the end. We do get hit with a Metal Sound, lowering our special defense. Flamethrower hits, doing about a third, as we go for another one, after being hit with a Snarl, which lowers our special attack. Flamethrower brings it down, and then just one more Flamethrower should be enough after another Snarl. It won't be now unless we crit, which we don't. but we're almost done, and an extreme speed is enough to pick up the KO at this point, giving us our second team star victory. Next up is my favourite gym leader, Larry. And in order to be able to battle Larry, the gym challenge requires you to give the secret recipe menu item, which we know off the top of our head at this point, so I just put it in. There's no work to it. Also, during the Giacomo fight, I forgot to mention, I was at level 29 with a time of 3 hours and 5. And for Larry, we've done a little bit of leveling up. We're at a time of 3 hours 28 minutes now at level 37, and we're holding the Lumberry because Kamala likes to yawn and Dunsparce likes to glare us, which will paralyze us. We start the fight off by terrestrializing, hitting the Dragon Pulse into the Kamala as we drop it low and get hit with a yawn. On the next turn we get hit with Sucker Punch as we take the Kamala out. Doesn't do too much damage to us. We Dragon Pulse the Dunsparce, taking it low, getting hit with a glare as Hyper Drill hits us just above half, and Dragon Pulse is enough to finish it off. Larry is left then with just his ace Pokemon, which is Staraptor. And he sends it in, gets motivated by the crowd watching and decides to terrestrialize. This is probably the longest terrestrialization in like cutscene kind of thing in the game, because it just takes him so long to get pumped up. He just doesn't have the energy for it, and I relate to that some days. But once Larry does terrestrialize Staraptor, we're going to hit it with Dragon Pulse after we take a move from Staraptor, because we are paralysed at this point and hope we don't get fully paralysed. It is a facade into us, which drops us very, very low into the red, as Dragon Pulse does hit Staraptor and takes it down with a critical hit in single turn. I don't know if the crit mattered there, being honest. I just don't know the answer. But that is Larry beaten, giving us our 5th gym badge. We are over now to our 6th gym leader, the Ghost Specialist Rhyme, and the only mandatory double battle section of the game, so we're of course joined with our Azuro. Before we take Rhyme on, we had to get the crowd excited with a series of double battles, winning each one to further get the crowd more entertained. We're going to start the fight off by terrestrializing, just in case there's any ice moves come in, because we are super weak to ice, as Azuro gets taken down before it can splash, and we hit a crunch into the net. We are at level 42 at this point with a time of 3 hours 50, and we're holding the muscle band for this fight. Because we terrestrialized, we get a Omni Beast from the crowd getting excited, and I decide this turn to hit into the Mimikyu just to break its disguise, just in case we get hit a bit too low later. We also managed to burn it because of it, which is great, as Mimikyu is a physical attacker. We do get hit with a slash and a play rough, which I wasn't expecting from the Houndstone. I kind of forgot it had play rough. And the crowd gets excited, boosting the Houndstone and the Mimikyu. So we take the Houndstone down before it can do any more real damage to us. With that done, Rhyme is going to send in their race Pokemon, Toxtricity. It will terrestrialize to the Ghost type, the same as every other gym terrestrializers. And we get boosted again for taking down one of Rhyme's Pokemon. As they terrestrialize, we crunch into it, And once the house laser come out for support of Rhyme and the terrestrialization clip has gone off, I guess. I don't know what else you'd call it. It's not quite a video, it's not quite a cutscene. It's just there. We are able to hit the toxicity, taking it down in a single hit because we are boosted in our attack. I think we're at +2 at this point. That just leaves Mimikyu left. It can't do any real damage to us, and we are able to take it out on the final turn. After getting boosted again, I think this time boosts our speed at this point. No, it is attack again. I think there is one that boosts speed. But if we hit it with a flamethrower, taking it down, giving us our 6th gym badge, meaning that we can now buy mints and change our nature. We can't yet do our bottle caps because we're not at level 50. From Rhyme, we head on down to Atticus. We're at level 43 with a time of 4 hours, 3 minutes, holding our wise glasses again. And Atticus is the poison type leader of Team Star. Leading with Skuntank, we take it out with an Earth Power as Muck comes in, and we hit it with an Earth Power. We're going to hit everything with Earth Power, just as a heads up. But Muck falls to a single one before Revavroom comes in. This isn't the Starmobile one, it's just a standard one. It is 4 times weak to ground. So of course Earth Power is more than enough to take it out. Leaving the actual Team Starmobile to come in next. It is Poison type to match the Team Star Poison base. And we hit an Earth Power into it after taking a Wicked Talk, which does poison us. But I'm not too worried about the poison at this point. Earth Power does over half to it, meaning that we're going to win with ease. Another Wicked Talk drops us a little bit low, as Earth Power is enough to finish it off, giving us our 3rd Team Star victory. Our 7th gym leader of the run is Tulip. We are at level 46 with a time of 4 hours and 35. We've also had our first reset of the run so far, just because all of Tulip's Pokemon knew fairy moves and we just couldn't survive without changing our Terra type. Tulip leads off with Ferregaraf, which we hit with a Crunch, bringing it very low as it hits us with Foul Play. We then Terrestrialize against the Gardevoir because it is Fairy and it does have Dazzling Gleam. We hit a Shadow Claw into it and managed to take it down with a single hit, which is great. Shadow Claw is a high crit move, but we haven't got any yet. A Spalfra comes in and we hit a Crunch, taking it down, leaving only Tulip's ace Pokemon, which is Florges. It will Terrestrialize to the Psychic type, but it is quite bulky and it has got good special attack. So we hit a Crunch into it as Tulip Terrestrializes. We will be faster, we are faster than most things now, we've changed our nature. But Florges isn't particularly fast anyway. Crunch brings it very low into the red as a Moonblast drops us into the orange. And we finish it off with an Extreme Speed, giving us the 7th gym badge of the run. Our final gym leader is of course Grusha, the Ice type gym leader. And we're at level 47, coming straight from beating Tulip with a time of 4 hours and 44 minutes. To challenge Grusha, we had to complete the gym challenge of snowboarder, going down a mountain on Koraidon within a certain amount of time. Grusha leads off with a Frostmoth, and we've got Flamethrower, so we take it out with a single hit as Beartic comes in, and we take that down with a single hit. For the Titan, I'm like 90% sure it has thick fat, so we terrestrialize, hit a Flamethrower into it, and I was right, it does less than half, as we get hit with an Ice Spinner for a little bit of damage. Another Flamethrower brings it down into the red as we get hit with another Ice Spinner, putting us in the orange. We finish off Titan with an Extreme Speed, as then Grusha will send in their ace Pokemon, which is Altaria, which is going to terrestrialize to the Ice type, as we hit it with a Flamethrower. We are in a point here where, while doing this, I wasn't sure if it would be enough to take the Altaria out. We are holding Wise Glasses again for this fight, which will boost our special damage. It is not quite enough to take it out, but it misses the Hurricane against us, and as we're faster, we are able to take it out, giving us all 8 of our gym badges now. Next up, we're going to go and take on Great Tusk. We are at level 49 with a time of 5 hours 1 minute. There is a little bit of talking after the last gym leader, and I also went and picked up the TM for Ice Beam at this point. First phase of this fight was a single Ice Beam to finish it, and for this one Arvin joins us with Scovillain as we hit Ice Beam, freezing the Great Tusk, but it falls out straight away, hitting us with a knockoff as Scovillain uses Scary Face, and another Ice Beam takes the Great Tusk down without any issues, giving us the glide ability when on Koraidon. Our final Titan is Tatsugiri, and we are at level 49 still, with a time of 5 hours 15 minutes, holding the Wise Glasses, and we're going to start this fight off by terrestrializing because we're weak to Dragon and Ice if we don't, and I know it has both those moves. We're holding the Wise Glasses still, and we go for Dragon Pulse into it, getting hit with a Taunt as Greedent goes for a Tail Whip, which doesn't help us. Another Dragon Pulse brings it to about 2/3 after a crit, as we get hit again. No, Greedent gets hit, and a final Dragon Pulse is enough to take out Tatsugiri, meaning we can climb rocks while on Koraidon and have got all of the 5 Titans beaten now. We are off now to the Fairy type Team Starbase and the leader Ortega. We have had a reset against Ortega, and we've leveled up quite a bit since Tatsugiri, now at level 58 with a time of 5 hours 31 minutes. And we're holding the Muscle Band again for this fight, as we're going primarily for the physical moves. Ortega leads off with Azumarill, and we start off the fight by going for terrestrialization, just in case we can't take the Azumarill out, as they are all Fairy types and the Dragon is not good against Fairy. We do manage to take Azumarill down in a single hit before Ortega then sends in their next Pokemon, which is Wigglytuff. We go for the Iron Head against Wigglytuff, hoping that we don't miss because it's not 100% accurate. We do land the hit, taking it down in a single hit before Ortega will then send in Darkspawn. Darkspawn is surprisingly tankier than I always think it is every time I see it. But we go for the Iron Head into it, just missing out on the KO, as we then get hit by Ortega when they finish talking. Play rough. Thanks to terrestrialization, it's not super effective. We do good damage into it and are able to finish it off with a Thunderbolt on the next turn after taking a Baby Doll Eyes, which is super annoying because it lowers our attack. I didn't go for Flamethrower because it's got well-baked body usually, which means that it would be immune to the Flamethrower. Ortega's then only got the Starmobile left, which comes in. It is of course the Fairy type and sets up the Misty Terrain as it comes in. And we go for the Iron Head into it. No, we don't. We go for Earth Power. That's my bad. I assumed I'd go for Iron Head. Earth Power does a little bit of damage as we take a little bit from Steel Roller, which also gets rid of the terrain, which means that when we are next hit, we can have like confusion, paralysis, etc. against us now. We hit another Earth Power as we take a Confuse Ray, which like I said now will be effective. And I go for Iron Head finally. I think at the time I was thinking the Baby Doll Eyes would have dropped us, but we were holding the Muscle Band. It would have made more sense to use the super effective move. But we drop it low and we get hit with a Wicked Talk as we go for another Iron Head. We are still confused. We don't hit ourselves. We land the Iron Head and take the Starmobile down. No, not quite. 1 HP. Genuinely couldn't see that HP for a second. And we just finish it off with a Flamethrower, assuming we don't hit ourselves. And there we go, that last little tiny bit of HP. I forgot that happened during the run. So when I saw the HP bar, I thought, yeah, it's done. But it wasn't quite. But now we've beaten for the Team Star members. There's only one left to beat. Our final Team Star base is against Eri, the fighting type leader of Team Star. We're at level 59 with a time of 5 hours 55 minutes, holding the Wise Glasses once again to boost our special attack. And Eri starts off the fight with Toxicroak as we've relearned Air Slash for this fight, taking it down in a single hit. Eri then is sending in Annihilate, which is a bulky Pokemon, and I was a little bit worried. It can do a lot of damage. It does have Ice Punch. We can't Terrestrialize because of the normal type, but we do take Annihilate down in a single hit before Eri then sends in Lucario against us. This is a special built Lucario, for anyone who ever wonders, but we hit it with a Flamethrower, taking it down, leaving Persimmon to be next. Honestly, at this point, it's really difficult because if we don't take Persimmon out, we get hit with the Rock Throw, which then lowers our speed, but we do manage to take the Persimmon down, meaning that we are at full health and have not Terrestrialized, which is important because the Starmobile, I don't think it can hit us really. Wicked Talk won't do a lot. High Horsepower can't hit us. And I think it's got Shift Gear as its other move. I can't remember its fourth. But Air Slash drops it below half, which is great for us, as its ability kicks in, which is Stamina, which boosts its defense every time it's hit. Luckily we're hitting it on the special side, so it's all good. We then go for a Air Slash again, finishing off the Starmobile. Oh, it does have Spin Out, but that doesn't do a lot of damage to us. Also lowers its speed back down. But once that's done and Eri brags about getting a hit in, we finish it off with an air slash, meaning we've beaten all of the team stars now as well, and we're getting towards the end of the game. After beating Eri, I decided to come straight towards Arven next, just to see how we were doing for that kind of fight. We are still at level 59 with a time of 6 hours 12 minutes. We stopped off quickly to grab the Brick Break TM, and we are holding the Wise Glasses. We go for Brick Break into Arven's Greedent, doing over half as we take a Body Slam, and then taking Greedent out on the next turn. We didn't terrestrialize there because I wanted the terrestrialization against the Garganacl. We do terrestrialize against it, going for Energy Ball because we're holding the Wise Glasses. So it makes more sense to go for the type of move that's going to do more damage. We also now are not weak to rock moves, which it's likely to go for. Energy Ball connects with Garganacl, bringing it down to very low, as Stone Edge brings us lower than I would like, if I'm being honest. But another Energy Ball finishes the Garganacl off. With that, Arven will then send in Toadcool, which we air slash into, not quite taking it down as it goes for a Power Whip and misses. I think if it had hit that, we would have lost here, but a Flamethrower into the Toadcool is enough to take it out. I think Flamethrower from the beginning might have taken it out, but I was like, air slash is stab still, so it might do more, plus the flinch. Scovillain's up next, and we do air slash into it, taking it down in a single hit, before Arven will then send in Cloyster. For the Cloyster, we're going to go for a Energy Ball. And it is enough to take it out. I wasn't sure if it would be. I know Cloyster's defensive. I can't remember if it's specially defensive or physically. I need to remember that at some point. Arven's final Pokemon is Mabostiff, and it does have Intimidate, which is super annoying because it lowers our attack. So at this point I was trying to decide what was better, and we go for an Air Slash. I think because it's stab, I think it's better with the chance to flinch. I don't like to flinch cheese, but sometimes it's about the fact that I just want to get these fights won. Arven does terrestrialize his Mabostiff into the Dark type. As we hit the Air Slash, it does half, and it does flinch it. So we then decide to go for an Air Slash. Knowing it did half means like we should do half again, unless we got a high roll, which it doesn't look like we did. Outspeeding the Mabostiff, taking it out, meaning that Arven is beaten. And with Arven beaten, we have also completed the Path of Legends. I think that's what Arven's path is. And there it is, the Path of Legends complete. Our next fight is, of course, Champion Geeta after taking down the Elite Four. And honestly, there weren't really any issues. We've got a good variety of moves for each one. Grass moves and water moves, because we picked Surf up for Rika. Fire moves and Brick Break for Poppy. ice and electric moves for Larry, and of course ice and dragon moves for Hassel. And we were faster than the Noivern, and we took the Excalibur out in a single hit. So we're at level 67 after beating the Elite Four with a time of 6 hours 42, holding the Wise Glasses as we take Sparfra out in the beginning, leading to Veluza, which falls to a single Thunderbolt. Avalugg is next, and although very physically defensive, is not specially, so Flamethrower melts the iceberg. Gita has a big weakness to fighting and fire moves. King Gambit's in next, and we could Flamethrower, Earth Power, Brick Break. I didn't teach Brick Break, we could have Brick Breaked. But we'll go for the Flamethrower, taking it to very low, which surprised me quite a bit. But Stone Edge missed us as we finish it up. That did surprise me a lot. I remember that happening now. And we're lucky because I think Stone Edge would have just took us out. But with that, we have Go-Goat next, which we can also Flamethrower. And it also doesn't go down to 1 and hits us with a Play Rough. We do finish it off on the next turn. That's 2 Pokemon in a row that have not fallen to super effective moves, which is quite weird. But it is what it is. And then Gita then sends in their race Pokemon, Glimmora, which is going to Terrestrialize to the Rock type. And we have Earth Power, which is super effective, so we hit Earth Power, outspeeding. We also Terrestrialize because if we don't take it out, a Rock move would take us out. And Gita Terrestrializes. These bits always take forever. But with that done, we can land the Earth Power against the Glimmora. Not quite taking it out as it goes for Dazzling Gleam, which was unexpected. I thought the Rock move was coming with a stab, but it's fine. And another Earth Power does take the Glimmora out, meaning that we've beaten the champion fight and have 2 major fights left before we go to Area 0. We are up against Nemona now for the final fight of the Path of Champions. We are at level 72 with a time of 7 hours 14 minutes, holding the Wise Glasses once again. We have had 2 resets at this point, one against Nemona at level 68 and one against Penny at level 69 after beating Clavel, which was honestly very easy. Nemona leads off with Lycanroc, which we Earth Power and take out. We take Gudra out with Dragon Pulse. Earth Power takes out Pawmo. As Nemona then sends in the Dunsparce, which is bulky enough to survive an attack from us no matter what we use. So we go for Earth Power as it goes for Coil. Coil's not really a threat, it's accuracy, attack and defense. We're hitting it on the special side and we take it out on the next turn. Orthworm is Nemona's next Pokemon, and we have Flamethrower. We already know Orthworm's super weak to fire because we dealt with the Titan one earlier. This leaves Nimona with just her ace Pokemon, Scarlet, the final evolution of the starter. They will terrestrialize it to be a fire type purely instead of fire ghost, which is what it currently is, and we're going to hit it with earth power. It's not quite good enough to KO it as it is very bulky, but we do get the special defense drop as we get hit with a shadow ball, getting a special defense drop against us. But as we're faster, earth power is enough to finish it off, and that gives us our second story arc completed. Our final fight before we head down to Area 0 is of course Penny, and we're at level 77 with a time of 7 hours 34 minutes, and we had one more reset after beating Nimona at level 72, not being able to do enough damage to Penny's ace Pokemon, which showed me I just need to level up a fair bit more. We start the fight off against Umbreon, just hitting it with flamethrowers, taking a Baby Doll Eyes and a Dark Pulse. As Vaporeon is then sent in, we hit the Thunderbolt into it, just missing out on a KO, taking a Aura Beam, as we then take it out with another Thunderbolt. Jolteon is next, and usually Jolteon's a problem because it's very fast, but we're faster. Take it out with an Earth Power before Flareon comes in, and the answer to Flareon is also Earth Power, taking it down. Leafeon is next up, and we take it out with a Flamethrower. I feel like some of the evolutions are very bulky and others are fast. We do get hit with a quick attack, but it does like 5 damage to us. It's not enough. This just leaves Penny with their ace Pokemon, Sylveon, which is going to terrestrialize to the Fairy type. Sylveon is bulky and has got really good special attack, and we have to terrestrialize so that we don't get taken out with the Moonblast. Once Penny has finished terrestrializing Sylveon, it doesn't take too long, we are then able to hit into it, doing big damage with Iron Head. Even through the one Baby Doll Eyes we took earlier, Moonblast does hit us, drops us very low into the red, lowering our special attack. But we are faster, we land the Iron Head, and that is Penny also beaten. With Penny beaten, that is Starfall Streak complete, as well as meaning we can go down to Area 0. Our final fight of the run is of course against AI Sada in the depths of Area 0. We are at level 78 with a time of 8 hours and 23 minutes. Sada uses all Paradox Pokemon, starting off with Slitherwing, which we take out with an Air Slash, and Sada is surprised that we know the weaknesses to Paradox Pokemon. Next up is Screamtail, which is a bulky Pokemon, so we terrestrialize and go for the Shadow Claw. We are holding the Wise Glasses here, but we could have just as easily used the Muscle Band. I just think our special attack was slightly higher after doing our EVs and vitamins and things. Shadow Claw does hit the Screamtail for over half, and then we finish it off on the next turn. We are on good HP at this point, so I'm not too worried. Brute Bonnet comes in, and I was a little bit worried about this surviving and putting us to sleep. It does hit Sucker Punch, so that's fine as we go for Air Slash. Just take it down in a single hit. This means that we are going up against Fluttermane next, and This is the only Pokemon on the team that can outspeed us potentially. Luckily we are faster. Shadow Claw does take it out. And that just leaves Sandy Shocks for us to beat. I think if I could do a Flutter Mane run, I think that would be an unbeatable run. I don't think any Pokemon would be better than Flutter Mane. But Sandy Shocks falls to an Earth Power. And I would love to do it. I'm just waiting for Paradoxes to be added to Pokemon Go. And we have Roaring Moon last. It does have the booster energy, but it boosts its attack rather than its speed. So we are quicker. If we're quicker than Flutter Mane, we're quicker than anything else. Go for the Dragon Pulse, taking it out in a single hit, meaning that Rayquaza has successfully completed the run. All that's left now is the final fight, Koraidon versus Koraidon. I'm pretty sure you can't lose this. I might try to lose it one day, but I'm pretty sure you can't. So as this plays out, as always, I want to say a massive thank you to anyone who's made it this far into the video. If you've enjoyed it, please feel to leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel for more content. I am trying to get one video out every 2 weeks. I know it's not that fast, but some of these videos take a lot longer than others. We can talk about the actual run now with Rayquaza. The final time after the credits and everything was 8 hours and 43 minutes. Meaning it is the fastest Pokemon that's not Mewtwo. And it's impossible to hold anything to Mewtwo's standard, as I pre-built Mewtwo for a charity stream beforehand, so it had all the moves available through TM, it had its nature done, had its bottle caps done, it had vitamins done. It was literally going in and going to each gym. It's not surprising that Rayquaza's obviously fast. It is legendary, it's got great stats. I think if we could have learnt a special steel or poison move, I think we could have been a bit faster, because we could have just gone full on the special attack side, banged a load of vitamins in, and then just cleaned through everything. But having to balance with enough vitamin points for our attack as well, so that we have good attack still, made it a little bit more of a challenge. It was very fun, don't get me wrong, it was very easy overall. The main thing here that is worth talking about is that Rayquaza is now the least amount of resets in a run, because I've kind of learned when I need to go level up more and when it is a case of we've got through with or without luck, so to speak. But yeah, I really enjoyed this run. Leave a comment, let me know what you'd like to see next time. Here's the final time, and thank you once again for watching.